With the Royal Rumble 3 days away, it's the go-home shows for Raw and SmackDown. Our reviews and more on Falcon Arrow. What's up, everybody? Live once again from the studio shaped like Anthony's mother's basement. I am here with the two gentlemen that join me every single week on the show. I am Joey Nohana with Anthony Caruso and Tyson Touloud. And once again, joined to talk about the week in WWE television.
Yeah, the phenomenal week.
The great week in television.
Leading to the best pay-per-view ever.
So before
pay-per-view,
before we get into this show, I would like to address the fact to you gentlemen that I honestly have no clue what's going to happen for the Royal Rumble. I have no idea who's going to win it.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going on.
Even if you read the rumors for the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, they're changing every week. So whatever story we could run with this week will probably change next week or change by the weekend.
There is literally no... And we harp on Anthony for being the dirt sheet guy here
Hey, man, it's fun.
on the show. But even the dirt sheet guys...
It's changing
are oblivious
all the time right now.
It changes so much, and it's actually a good thing that for the first time in a long time, wrestling is unpredictable.
Yeah. Triple H also did say in a recent interview that we will not see the end of the Royal Rumble coming. So
yeah, he did say that.
I mean, that could just be trying to just hype the show up. But I really want to buy into that, and I don't want to. I kind of don't want to see it coming.
Here's the thing. No one.
So Jimmy Uso is winning the Royal Rumble. You heard it here first.
Oh wow! Don't say shit like that, man.
So we don't know what's happening, and that's a good thing. For the first time in the wrestling world, we have no clue. Dirt sheet guys don't know. No one's talking. Essentially, no one's talking about anything. No one's telling outside voices. No one's giving insiders any inside. So it's
insight.
No one's letting them inside. This is a very good thing for the wrestling world and a good thing for us wrestling fans.
For the first time in the internet era.
For the first time in the internet era.
Well, I'm sure if you dig through all the dirt, I'm sure you'll find what's going to happen. But
the last time I can honestly say I did not know what was going to happen with the Royal Rumble was when Sheamus won it. I thought Chris Jericho.
Everybody thought for sure Chris Jericho was winning.
That's the last time. It's been a while since that happened, but this is very rare in the wrestling world where we have no clue what's happening. Not even maybe Meltzer knows what's going on, but he's been advised to not say anything. Everyone's shutting their mouth.
I know Brian Alvarez has an idea of what's going on for Mania, but he doesn't want to.
It's been widely spread that no one needs to say anything. Everyone needs to shut their fucking mouths and let it play out, which is a good thing. And before we get into the other news that we have to talk about, we will address the Kenny Omega situation, which does have a conclusion, but that will be on the second part of this episode. This is part
conclusion, quote unquote.
Quote unquote.
Could be a work.
Could be a work, could not be a work, but we'll see about it. But that will be discussed on our second version of this two-part episode, which will involve our predictions and the Kenny Omega stuff. But let's talk about some other things. Pete Dunne, Mark Andrews, and Trent Seven have all been signed to WWE, so they have been removed from dates. This was dropped on a
Mark
podcast.
Andrews? You mean Mandrews?
Yeah. Mandrews, yes.
Yeah.
Dude, Mark, he had a really good showing in the UK tournament.
I don't like him either. He knows I don't like him either.
Not a big fan of Mandrews.
For the WWE world, I like him. He's okay.
He fits in. He's with the whole cruiserweight thing. He had a really good showing. I mean, I'm not the biggest Mark Andrews fan either.
He's a flippy guy. He works, I guess. I don't know. We'll see.
Is Tyler Bates signed?
I would imagine he's the champ of the UK. He's the champion of the United Kingdom at the moment of WWE television.
I don't know why they wouldn't put the belt on him, because if you're going by the same logic they went by the CWC, they didn't have Zack Sabre or Kota Ibushi win because they weren't signed guys. Why would you let...
Or Noam Dar.
What?
Noam Dar. Could have put him on the fucking UK tournament, but he's too busy with Alicia Fox.
Well, he's legit guy. They don't want to put. I forgot about that. But yeah, they're not going to put legit WWE guys because they don't want them to. They don't want it to be predictable because they would have to win, or if they job, they would look like lesser guys to people unsigned.
It's just
that's why Neville and
it's just comical that they got this wave of United Kingdom and foreign talent, and they're not a part of this massive tournament that just took place in the United Kingdom. But yeah, that is.
Yeah, we need to look into see if Tyler Bate got signed, because if Tyler Bate didn't get signed,
I hope he did. I assume that the belt was his way of getting signed.
Because Tyler Bate, him and Pete Dunne, but they both $1 million fucking bucks.
They're amazing. Pete Dunne is hands down the best thing. I like Tyler Bate. He's awesome. But even before this tournament, I saw Pete Dunne on the Battle of Los Angeles, and he was great. Yeah. He was phenomenal.
And plus, if Tyler Bate signed, then you got Tyler Bate and Trent Seven, 2 members of Mustache Mountain in the WWE.
That is true. That is true. Mustache Mountain reigns supreme in the United Kingdom at the moment.
I really hope once Trent Seven makes it to Raw, he really walks around and shakes everybody's hand.
He should. He's built. He does not. The best thing about Trent Seven, he's got this.
He's not like a
dad bod.
Well, that's a lot of British wrestlers. They're not really like body guys.
Tyler Bate looks phenomenal.
Most of them don't have abs. They go to
the pub for a good time a lot of times.
But a lot of them are like thick trunk guys though. Yeah. But
that's the appeal of it all. But those are the 3 guys that got signed, so apparently those we were told by William Regal. We were told by William Regal that there were not going to be any exclusivities when it came to this whole tournament, that these guys would be able to perform whatever they wanted. This was dropped on a familiar UK podcast, or a famous, I should say, UK podcast that is regularly done with these promotions. Hometown guys that just do they do interviews within the wrestling realm, and they said that they could not appear on the podcast because of the signing. So. Yeah, they're being limited, so they're basically becoming WWE guys, and Pete Dunne's awesome. So I'm glad.
Awesome.
I'm glad that
Trent Seven's awesome. Yeah.
Trent Seven's built for WWE because he's a big gimmick. He's just a good gimmick,
and plus him and Jack Gallagher with the mustaches.
With the
I don't know.
Vince has a hard on for guys with mustaches.
I don't know if Jack Gallagher was in Mustache Mountain beforehand, because I just started watching ICW, I started watching for July, so I don't know much about Jack Gallagher before that. So
I would imagine there's a lot of great guys in the UK with the mustache. Other news to talk about, I do have to bring up to the both you gentlemen. I want to get your takes on this. WWE doing this thing where they like to alter replays and YouTube content. Now, when I say that, is the whole. There was a video on YouTube of an interview asking wrestlers who they want to see win or appear in the Rumble. So this has been the talk of the town. Who's going to be in the Rumble? There's still about 6 or 8 or 7 slots left that no one knows who's going to be in them. And there was
you should have saved this.
You
should have saved this.
Why?
Because we're going to be talking about Kenny Omega.
Well, no, this is not. We're not going to go deep into Kenny Omega news, but this was a part of it. Seth Rollins did say he wanted to see Kenny Omega, but the problem with that, this isn't about Kenny Omega. It's about the fact that they edited.
But I just figured it would all tie.
Yeah, it would have tied in. But the purpose of WWE editing things and altering things in order,
editing signs and shit,
editing signs and editing a fan
crowd noise,
a fan reaction. Okay, they edited a fan reaction where a guy was in the crowd on the live broadcast when Jericho won the United States Championship. This guy was cheering. He was happy. He was jubilant. And when they showed a replay on SmackDown the next day, this guy was all of a sudden was angry that Roman Reigns, he had his hands on his head, almost like, why is Roman losing this belt? So
I'm sure they've done this before. I don't think this is
news. How does that even happen? Like, how did they?
They probably just went back to a shot where maybe Chris Jericho took a bump and he did that.
Yeah, maybe he was.
They just misplaced it.
Because they do that shit with Total Divas all the time.
The problem with WWE, and this is an issue that we must talk about right now real quick before we get into the stuff, is this whole obsession with making Roman Reigns look good. They have been on this kick for, I want to say 2 years now. 3 years.
Almost 3, yeah.
Dude, it's more than 3.
Chiming
out. Because he won the Rumble in 2014.
True.
Yeah,
that was awful.
So the build up to
That was the beginning of the end for the whole like Roman thing.
even before that. So I mean, if you round up a little bit, you could say it's going 4 years strong.
This guy. This is something that's not doesn't. I don't understand why this is still an obsession that we have to make Roman look good. Why don't they just let the guy simmer down, lower in the card, let him get a feel, or let him develop a gimmick that'll eventually work? We're so stuffed with Roman Reigns that it's almost sickening now. I don't understand why this is continuing.
I'll say this in defense of the WWE as far as altering crowd noise and signs and really trying to push Roman as the big baby face, is that as far as it being a television show, like any other television show, you're trying to really prop up what is to be your main protagonist, and that's what they're trying to make Roman Reigns. But the problem with that, though, is that you're doing it in front of a live audience, and there is a boo and cheer factor to it. Mm-hmm. So at one point, I get where they're getting it, what they're trying to do, but another point, like, to change all of that and to basically rewrite history on the fly, it seems so disingenuous, and it's so hard to really buy into.
Part of the problem with WWE is that they, on one hand, they say, well, you're going to like what we put out, no matter what. We're not going to change things because of fans. But at the same time, you say that the fans make you who you are. Yeah. So when the fans disapprove of a wrestler, you continue to shove them down the throats. Yeah. I mean, I'm sitting here with a Roman Reigns koozie. So obviously, I don't mind the guy. But I do understand his situation. I understand. I like Roman. He's okay. He's not terrible. In his position, I don't like him in his position, obviously. He's not main event talent. He's a good worker.
He's not main event babyface talent.
No, he's a good worker, and he's not quite main event status. They really want him to be main event, and that's just... I don't understand why they're continuing this charade.
The guy has come a long way. I mean, he's not... Like, I remember when Roman was still smiling at his opponent, mid-promo and shit, and, laughing when he wasn't supposed to be, and he was just, complete shit on the mic. Yeah. He's come a long way.
He's come a long way, but he has corporate written all over him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's why I feel like no matter how good he gets, he'll always have that stain, and, you'll never be able to, just judge him for what he's doing. He'll always have that thing that,
He's got to CM Punk this thing, man, and do something break out of that whole corporate mold that he's been.
If you just let him just
Raw's so overproduced, though. It's so overproduced. I'll never let that happen.
No,
that's the issue. That's the theme of Raw. Before we even get into Raw, let's just point it out. Raw is so overproduced, and it's such. They're taking the A show to a whole nother limit where they're focusing all of their production. Brainstorming on fucking scripted lines that don't sound genuine. Scripted lines, before guys go out there, it feels like they're telling them, all right, mention this, and that, and you have to cover everything within a span of 5 minutes so we don't lose the crowd. And it's not how that works. You have to give guys bullet points, and you have to tell them to just go out there and talk about what's been going on. But like you just said, it's overproduced, and we can't do anything about it because that's what they want to do. They're turning Raw into a weekly television show.
The only thing that will ever stop it is if it has such a dramatic loss in the ratings, and they
lost to SmackDown. Maybe that should have been enough initiative to do something about this fucking show.
Still, it's the number 2 show on USA by probably a wide margin. It probably isn't.
You mean Suits is a number 1 on USA Network?
What about Psych, bro?
Or Burn Notice?
And I'm sure no matter how much it's struggling and how much the ratings dip, I'm sure in the span of cable TV ratings, it still has a fairly high rating.
Yeah, I get it, but it's just
1,000+ episodes, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's gotta people really have to stop watching the show en masse.
They're really turning this into a television production. This is really turning into a sitcom, which is overly produced, and guys have scripts, which is awful.
Dude, if it's turning into a sitcom, I ain't laughing.
Yeah. Well, with the segue of Roman Reigns, speaking of Roman, he starts off Raw once again, and Roman's been doing this for weeks now. He comes out, he says, with the Royal Rumble nearing, or whatever the fuck he says, some corporate written bullshit. Yeah. We get another Roman, fucking Kevin Owens, fucking Y2J segment, which
you mean the same segment we've had for every Raw.
The same exact opening. At this point, I watch Raw. I start up Hulu the next morning because I don't watch it live. Fuck you. Fuck you and your ratings. I watch it the day after.
Actually, to be honest with you, I think
they get ratings off of Hulu.
Well, Hulu and like shit like that, and DVR ratings are probably more important than like live ratings nowadays.
Yeah. Well, I don't watch it live. But anyways, the next day, I fire it up and I say, alright, let's start off Raw. Let me guess, I'm gonna see Roman the first 2 minutes. What do you know? Here's Roman fucking Reigns once again. Now, here's the issue with this segment. Roman Reigns, all of a sudden, there was an insult thrown at Roman. Chris Jericho picks up, Roman picks up on the insult given to him by Chris Jericho and proclaims, is that a rematch you're telling me? So, we are to believe that Roman Reigns has never wrestled Chris Jericho. We haven't seen this match 3 billion times. We haven't seen the United States Championship be defended week after week after week. And the crowd in Ohio, Cleveland, by the way, Cleveland, Ohio says, yeah, let's get a match with Roman again for the United States Championship. We're so stoked. Fuck you. I'm so fucking tired of Roman wrestling Kevin, Roman wrestling Chris, Roman wrestling Kevin again, then Roman wrestling Chris, then Roman wrestling Kevin once again with Seth by his side.
Don't forget about Roman wrestling Kevin and Chris.
Yes, Kevin and Chris.
At the same time.
Now, I can't wait for Roman to wrestle Chris and Kevin on the next episode of Raw.
In this segment's defense, Kevin Owens actually cut a pretty decent promo when he came out, which it's kind of refreshing because they haven't been doing a lot with him. And since his whole thing last week, he kind of like piggybacked off of that and was like, yeah, I'm the only guy in here who can say that I put you through a table, so fuck you, you know?
The problem with Kevin Owens, and it's sad, it's so fucking sad to see this guy.
That is one of the worst champions.
He's one of the worst champions, and he's the most talented guy they have on the roster. On the
Kevin
mic,
Owens like legit should be a number 1 guy. And and they put the strap on him and treat him like shit.
On the mic, in the ring, on commentary.
Hell yeah. This guy's amazing at everything, but he's been put in this hole of just nothingness where it just feels like we're not getting anything from Kevin. He's trying his best. It seems like he's trying his best.
They should have let him be the dominant heel instead of being the chicken shit heel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. They're making him look almost as bad as they made Seth look for like his first 6 title defenses when he was still doing the J&J thing and all that. They made him look like shit.
Yeah. But that was even more fun than
it was more fun, but I mean, as far as how he looks as a champion, like the chicken champion thing, like Seth is still, that guy.
It's a shame to see that a guy who was feuding for the United States Championship is getting more exposure in the World Title Championship picture when he had the United States Championship. When Roman won the U.S. fucking title, we all thought, oh, it's a good thing for Roman to do, semi-main. Yeah. He stays lower in the card. Step down.
The program he had with Rusev was good. It was kept...
He was more likable, not in the main event, because we knew we didn't have to see him, and he could focus on working, and he could focus on undercards, which he was fine in. He was not bad in that situation. But now, it's almost the opposite. He's been thrown back into the main event, and he's been in the main event, even with the United States Championship. So... Yeah. Why do you have a Universal Champion, but you're treating your U.S. Champion like he's God's gift to the planet? Yeah. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any fucking sense.
It feels like they just want Roman to have all the gold. You know, like Roman's feuding for the U.S. title, for the Universal title.
Just put all the straps on him.
Basically, like give him the tag titles.
I can't wait for him and Charlotte to have.
He's gonna crush Charlotte's record because he's gonna wipe her out in the first 5 minutes of the match. So this segment was awful. And once again, the segments are always awful. I mean, it's sad that I have to sit here and say Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens make me cringe every week, but they have to do this over and over again, and it brings us back to the same shit we just talked about: over script, over production. It kills it, and it will continue to kill it until everyone gets their fucking hand out of the pie and all the chefs get the fuck out of the kitchen and let one guy think about this stuff.
Too many cooks, bro.
Too many cooks. Too many fucking cooks. Now, we move on to this very stupid segment. I mean, stupid depending on who you are. Sami Zayn walks into the office, asks Mick, hey, everyone else on this fucking production, everyone else in this fucking company is proclaiming they're in the Rumble. So, how do I go about just being in the Royal Rumble? Huh, Mick? Mick goes, shit, I don't fucking know. Hey, just say it, right? Everyone else has done it. So, apparently this angered Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie McMahon says, actually, Sami, you have to earn your spot in the Royal Rumble. Let's backtrack for about a couple seconds. Everyone and their mother have just said they're in the Rumble. Sami Zayn has to fight for his chance in the Rumble.
Well, yeah, man, because everybody else wasn't privy to a speakerphone conference call with the GM at the time.
God forbid this fucking guy walks in on a conversation between Steph on speakerphone.
She's literally like, wait, hold up, Nick, hold up. Is that Sami I hear? Yeah, put him on. Well, guess what, Sami? Fuck you.
See, that's the thing. That's where I understood the situation, and people got mad about it, but it's the logic of why is everyone just going, hey, so by the way, I'm in the Rumble, and now back to my storyline. But Sami Zayn comes in and says, hey, where the fuck do I sign to get in the Rumble? Because apparently in 2017, you just have to just tweet about it and you get in the Rumble.
Basically, yeah.
That's essentially how this goes now. But since Stephanie McMahon was on speakerphone, by the way, Mick, you could have just had the phone to your ear. I don't know. You walked into a conversation in the office. This guy has to fight his way into the Royal Rumble. Now we're pitted in a situation where Sami and Seth have to fight. This is the only Royal Rumble match, or the Royal Rumble, what's the word? Qualifier match.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry. Qualifying match. So we've seen this entire season. They could have been doing this the entire time. They picked Sami Zayn, the fool, to deal with this. So Sami wins. By the way, great match. Great match by Seth and Sami.
There is an extra step, however, and they don't reveal this until later on when, Mick goes and talks to Seth about it. Not only is Sami competing for a spot, he's competing for Seth's spot. So if he wins, then Seth is out of the Rumble. Yeah. Which, is total bullshit for Seth, because he missed it last time due to injury and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
He will fight Triple H at WrestleMania, so why would he be in the Royal Rumble?
Seth doesn't need the Rumble.
I know. Yeah. He's got that whole angle where it's like, I wasted a year of my life for this, this is what I want, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
After an awesome match, Sami wins because Triple H's music went off.
Yeah. Yup. And nobody came out.
Distracted Seth. Seth is...
Which the pop was pretty sweet.
Yeah, every time Triple H is
everyone lost their mind, dude. The crowd was going nuts.
Rollins was fucking seething. He was legitimately, he looked legitimately pissed off about the situation.
He sold it pretty
He sold it to me. I believed he was pissed about, and he had no idea what just happened. So now we have Sami Zayn in the Royal Rumble. Some say he's the favorite to win the Rumble.
I don't see why Sami shouldn't win this Rumble.
You've been saying Sami should win for a while.
Yeah, and I actually kind of like this whole making Sami earn the thing, because it's really playing up the fact that he's the underdog.
Yeah.
That's why I said I understand where they're going with this. The logic of it all is just, it doesn't make sense.
It would be cool if Sami won,
By the way, Sami Zayn, after he had to be in a match, it was announced that the Big Show would be in the Royal Rumble. Just announced, by the way.
Which, as if we didn't think he was going to be in there.
Literally 5 fucking seconds after Sami Zayn just got told he had to qualify for it, they go, by the way, Big Show lost 180 pounds. He's in the Royal Rumble now.
I think,
fellas.
I think it would help create better programming for the lead up to the Royal Rumble. They should start making Raw, and I guess SmackDown too now, have qualifying matches and let people qualify for the Rumble.
That's what they had in the past.
Yeah.
That's what kind of built it up, is the fact that you have to earn your spot.
Yeah.
The Royal Rumble is not just something you could just talk to someone about
declare
it.
yourself.
Well, I mean, spoiler alert, later on, they, like, in SmackDown, they do have one, but it's cool.
It's a fucking battle royal, okay?
But
I mean, like...
But it's still a qualifier.
Yeah, but it's
not like for one or two spots. I mean, like, for almost everybody.
It's a lazy way to get someone in the Rumble at the last second. It was not built over a couple of weeks where guys were physically devoting themselves to winning matches.
It's a lazy way to get a guy you know is not going to win, like fucking Mojo Rawley into the
So after this whole Sami Zayn...
fucking Tyler Breeze in.
Tyler Breeze in, what the fuck? We'll get to that. Anyways.
I thought Rhino was going to get in, but whatever.
So we have a segment with the New Day, who fucking suck now. They're god-awful.
I love how the New Day of, like, this full circle, like... They started off awful, and then like
shit,
and then like all of a sudden, like they were the greatest thing that's ever happened to anyone ever,
and now they're boring,
and now
they're right back to shit again.
Even when they do their entrance, it's so weird with their intro without them being the world famous like 2-time champs or whatever. Like
now they're the world famous,
now they're the longest reigning champs. It just doesn't have the same ring.
That's their championship now. They're the longest reigning tag champs. That's their new belt.
Yeah.
Now they come out and they start talking about whatever the fuck they like to talk about, and about how they were getting interrupted all last week. So now we see the best thing about Monday Night Raw: Alexander Rusev show up.
Hey.
And here's the funny thing about it. He just told everyone he's in the Rumble, by the way, guys. He came out and said, "Hey guys, I have a beard. I'm in the Royal Rumble." And he called himself Handsome Rusev.
The hottest wife of anybody on the show.
Yeah, handsome
Rusev. I love the fact that Rusev, he's a minor character in the show, but he knows it and he just has fun with it.
Yeah.
This guy went from having a legit feud with Roman Reigns. He lost the belt for absolutely nothing, for no reason, and now he's in a tag team with a guy that's hopped up on steroids. Fucking Ginger Mahal.
Juicer Mahal.
Oh, wow.
So, how he's fallen...
Oh, no, guys. Ginger's all natty.
All natty ice.
Oh, man.
Rusev is fallen, but I still like him a lot. I really do like him.
Man.
Rusev is the man.
I think we can all agree that Rusev is...
Rusev fucking...
I honestly think he knows that he's fallen, and he's just gonna have fun with it. He looks like he's having fun, just not doing anything.
Over the last year, he's gotten so much better on the mic.
He's amazing.
He's
and if you don't watch Total Divas,
he's the hidden star of Total Divas.
He is the sleeper talent on the Total Divas. The broads are nothing, man. Rusev's the fucking
Except
man.
for my girl Renee Young.
Renee Young sucks.
Yo, dude, take that back.
That's butthurt for another day. This segment involves Rusev declaring for the Rumble, and then Big Cass and his fucking stupid, dumb fucking teammate come out. The most boring guy on the planet, by the way, fucking Enzo. But guess what Big Cass says? I'm gonna let you guys take a guess.
He's in the Rumble?
Yes! Jesus! So Cass says, guys, I'm 7 foot tall and I'm in the Royal Rumble. So we can't hide from it, guys. I look at my fucking cereal, okay, and it says I'm in the Rumble. I just can't get away from it.
I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of nice to see Enzo not in the fucking leopard, like, jazzy thing anymore. I mean, that was...
You know, it'd be great if not seeing Enzo at all.
Yeah.
Can this guy get reconstructive nut surgery or something?
But I mean, at least he doesn't have to, like, ride down on the little scooter with all the Jersey shit. Like, you know.
The best part about it, it resulted in an 8-man tag. No one cares. The best part about this entire fucking segment was the fact that Titus O'Neil, the Titus brand, by the way, he sucks too.
Yeah.
Said that there was 4, it was the 5 of them, by the way, he said the 4 of them, he fucked up, there's 5 of them, versus the 4 of them. There was only 3 men and Lana. So when Wood says, Lana's not in there, what are you talking about? And everyone popped like a motherfucker. Yeah. Everyone went crazy. When the thought of Lana in a match with other guys was presented, everyone went fucking nuts.
This is the start to our dream of having Lana be 16-time world champion.
This was legitimately awesome.
WrestleMania.
This was amazing for the simple fact that she got a massive pop, and everyone... And this was not intended whatsoever, but when the thought of Lana being involved in an 8-man tag match with a bunch of dudes was presented, everyone said, yeah, fuck yeah, let's have fucking Lana wrestle. But, you know, obviously the WWE, and they fucking blow, so they're not going to let that happen.
Triple H said in an interview recently that we're nowhere near ready for, like, guy on girl.
Which is sad, because women, the women's revolution is fine and dandy, but when you start taking on dudes, then it'll be a revolution.
See, like, when I read that, I thought back to, like, what him and Stone Cold did to Lita, and I'm like, you know, man... it's kind of ironic, but you know, whatever.
But it's a whole different culture. Like you start looking at like what's going on like, in the world today.
I know you gotta. It's the dub, so you gotta forget what happened. Like 10 years ago.
Guarantee you, if they come to their senses right now, and you have a major title match build up for a woman and a man, you will get a lot of ratings because people would want to see that. Okay, people will.
As long as they're not going fucking crazy and having like striking like to that extent, if it's just
it's not a TLC match, just a regular fucking wrestling match.
If it's just like a bunch of DDTs and stuff like that, as long as she's not getting like literally slapped around, I think everyone will be okay. You know?
Yeah.
A chick gets powerbombed or something, I don't think anyone's going to lose their fucking mind.
Yeah.
Chick gets fucking backhanded in the ring, you're probably going to get some angry letters.
Yeah. Not really, because she's in there competing.
Because
part of the match.
You look at a lot of movies and television nowadays with like action-oriented shows with female leads.
Yeah.
They're generally fighting men at some point.
Absolutely. I mean, and the question is it more sexist not to have it? You know, because like you got chicks in there, they can like slap a dude or whatever, or like fucking Reese does it all the time.
Yeah.
But you do that shit in reverse, and like all of a sudden it's on CNN. You know, like it's a big fucking deal. So,
and then they're trying to go with the whole believability factor too. But again, like I said, a lot of action shows and movies have female leads, and they fight men. So I mean, it works there.
Isn't that what equality is about, man? You know, like, right?
Everyone gets the shit beat out of them equally.
Once they sign Candice LeRae, then maybe we'll see...
Candice LeRae, the only woman to challenge for the World Championship in recent memory. That would have been amazing.
Candice should have won the PWG title, but that's a debate for another day.
Story for another day. Now, we get to this very ultra cringy Owens Chris Jericho and fucking Roman Reigns match. We've never seen this match ever. I've never personally seen this match in my entire life. But, anyways, it ends in a very cringy way. Owens attacks Roman. Match ends in a DQ. Then Owens eventually gets locked in the cage, gets put up. And it was so fucking long and took so fucking long to finish. And I was like, why is this happening? Why am I watching this shit? It was too long. It was too long. The point was... oh, this is going to be Kevin now, let's lock him in the cage and put him up, which did absolutely nothing because Chris Jericho is going to be in the cage.
Yeah.
The other thing announced about this match at the Rumble was now it's going to be no disqualification, which I have no idea why. It was...
So someone could drop something into the ring.
Yeah. So Chris Jericho could drop his fucking clipboard.
Well, if it's no disqualification, what's the point in putting Chris Jericho in a fucking Sharkcage?
Good fucking question. Good fucking question. It's like La Luchadora being banned from ringside because of a steel cage. She walked right in.
Yeah, yep.
So I imagine Chris Jericho is going to get a hold of the keys or create spare keys, drop from the fucking cage, and then help Kevin Owens win the belt back. Or if they're going to go with this whole fucking Roman Reigns thing, I don't know. It makes... It almost seemed like they said...
just fucking had Jericho hide wire cutters in this fucking thing.
Fucking Chaz Caruso comes up to
My
Roman.
cousin?
Yeah. Goes up to
Chuck.
Kevin Owens after Kevin was raised in a shark cage. Okay, and left up there for God knows how long. Then raised back down. By the way, people in Cleveland had to watch this unfold right in front of their eyes. Comes out of the cage, and then Chaz goes... by the way, just because right now it just got made official, this is a no disqualification match at the Rumble, and Kevin's like, what? Why? I don't know. I don't know why they do half this shit. I have no idea why this is... the whole point was for it to be DQ because now Chris Jericho can't interfere.
Yeah.
Now it's no DQ. So if he gets out of the cage, what does it fucking matter?
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll see how it plays out, but it sounds very stupid on paper. Now, the ending of Raw.
Speaking of things that sound stupid on paper.
So we get this Goldberg fucking promo. This guy Now, I like Goldberg. Anthony doesn't like Goldberg. A lot of people think Goldberg's a little shoved down our throats, but for the most part, I think his mic works.
It's not that I don't like Goldberg.
Decent.
I don't give a shit about this fucking feud at all.
There are guys like this. I appreciate Goldberg for the fact that he came back, and he's actually not bad on the mic. That wasn't until this happened. Guy hits himself, bashes his head in no fucking locker, goes out to the fucking ring. He's bleeding on national television.
Now, for all you playing along at home, they never show him hit his head off the locker or anything. As far as you know, this is just Goldberg on a normal fucking day. You see him do his whole, like, extended entrance or whatever where the camera follows him from backstage. He's not bleeding at all, okay? He doesn't start actually bleeding. So he gets in the ring and starts talking. And
you could I was watching him talk, and I could not listen to him because I was focusing on that bead of blood dropping down his fucking face.
And I'll give it to the guys in the back. They started switching camera angles real quick, so there was a lot of shots of the back of him and like the side of him, so you couldn't really see the blood at first. Like, I'm trying to point this out to my brother, like, hey, is he bleeding? And he's like, what are you talking about? Because for a full minute it cut to like shots of him from every angle but the front, obviously to like, you know. But eventually he's got to look into the hard cam and he's got to like do his thing. And at that point, he's cut not in one spot, but in two spots on his fucking face, okay? Like, right at the crown of his head. This shit is, like, literally pouring into his eyes. And, I mean, I'll give him credit. He didn't faze him. Like, he wiped it away, kept it moving, like, he saw blood in his hand, and, like, didn't miss a beat. Kept it going. Like we said, Goldberg's great on the mic. But, God, was that weird.
That was very awkward.
That had to be so strange.
He fumbled in his fucking promo.
He fumbled twice. He had to redo his promo a third time because he just gave himself a fucking concussion by bashing his fucking head into a locker.
That's alright. Jericho fucked up in his opening promo.
They fuck up all the time because WWE is overly scripted, and you can't. This was brought up as to why he fumbled. Yeah, he might have gave himself a fucking concussion. But another thing was, this entire time Goldberg was off the cuff. He was just on the fly. Hey, bullet points. Talk about this, and this, and that, and do it the way you need to do it. So right before he gets out there, probably Kevin Dunn pulls him to the side and says, hey, don't forget the Rumble. Please remember the Rumble. Remember the Rumble. Talk about Lesnar. Talk about 29. It's 29, Bill. 29, not 30, not 40. 29 fucking guys. You're one, by the way. And The Undertaker. Talk about a lot of things. And he goes, sure, man. And this guy just got done, like, drinking 5 Gatorade, or Gatorades, yeah, right. 5 fucking Monsters, 3 Red Bulls, and just doused himself in fucking kerosene and hit himself on a locker. And now he looks like the Watchmen, fucking the cover of the fucking book. And it's amazing. It's amazing what this guy will do just to promote a fucking pay-per-view. But he was not the normal Goldberg. He stumbled, eventually got his point across. Lesnar came out, unannounced, by the way. Lesnar shows up, which is very rare. Lesnar just comes out, by the way, in a really good-looking Suplex City shirt with the Cavaliers logo replaced for the city.
Really?
Yes, which looked really good. I wish I was in Cleveland for that. I would have bought that shirt, no problem. Then we get an unannounced Undertaker entrance.
Yeah.
So before I watched Raw, it was just all over the place about Undertaker showing up on Raw. So I said, this is going to be fucking awesome. I can't wait to see this. All 3 men get in the ring. Yeah, that right there. They just looked at each other. In a triangle, just kind of. Taker came in full fucking like.
What does that do for anybody?
Full GSP gloves.
The drama.
My man came in with Anderson Silva gloves with an elbow pad. He looks like he's ready to throw down, and everyone just kind of like. Okay, you're old. He's old. I'm old. Yeah, man. Like that's. Sweet as fuck. Apparently, after this happened, there's after show things. Nothing happened. Undertaker looked at both of them and said, "Rip," and left. So nothing came of this. So everyone talked this up, just like the Shawn Michaels segment, and it was just it was what it was.
Well, at least
the
Undertaker didn't talk about his Golden Globes.
Yeah.
How about Gavin Stone passing a stone? Well, that was Raw. I mean, it was the go home show. I don't know whether to call it weird or okay. It wasn't awful, but it wasn't great. The ending had a lot of potential, but the whole fact that everyone just stared each other down was a little weird.
Yeah.
You're just looking at three old guys in their 40s and 30s looking at each other.
50s.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Taker's in his 50s.
Taker's 51. Goldberg 52.
Shit, they're almost
Lesnar's 39, or unless he's 40 now. Unless he's already past the big 4-0. I don't know yet.
I think he's like 40.
Okay, well, guys up there in the twilight of their careers, looking at each other.
Shawn Michaels is 51. That still blows my fucking mind. Him and Taker.
Oh, he's passing a stone now, for sure. So that was Raw. Very anticlimactic, I'll call it. So we move on to SmackDown, which is in Toledo, Ohio, by the way. So you are about an hour and 40 minutes away from Cleveland, so you are not going to get the same crowd. You're going to get a very hicky, fucking rednecky crowd.
Hour and 40 minutes is not that far. I'm sure they got a lot of crossover in that crowd.
It's a whole different universe in Toledo compared to Cleveland. So we get the show opening up. Figure this, with an authority figure backstage who cut a promo for maybe 5 minutes. And he didn't blow up the entire television screen for 40 minutes talking about remembering the Rumble. And funny enough, Daniel Bryan says there's going to be a lumberjack match to prevent Maurice from interfering in the match. Which is pretty smart, I want to say. You know, a guy actually watching the product and going, we need to not make it no disqualification because your fucking wife's going to get involved. Yeah. So I applaud SmackDown for watching their own show.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say about the positivity of this show being booked.
By the way, speaking of SmackDown and being booked, I don't know if it was for this show, but the new head writer for SmackDown is Road Dogg.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
I can't wait for everyone to call their mothers and call somebody. Now, this SmackDown started off with this Randy Orton and Luke Harper match. This was very interesting to me for the simple fact that I've never seen an entire stable come out together as a unit to have a match against each other.
This was like the first time I think I've ever seen both opponents come out in the same entrance.
Yeah.
Yeah, that never happens.
I applaud SmackDown. Maybe Bray Wyatt had a hand in this. But I applaud them for actually settling things without it imploding. Anytime a team in the past, ever, in the history of wrestling and WWE, has ever had conflict, it is usually followed up by guys wrestling each other and then disbanding. Bray Wyatt is actively trying to keep this together.
Even the most minor of conflict, like an incidental shove or like a missed kick or something that
very minor things break up stables in the past.
I don't know about all that. I mean, the way the match ended, fucking with Bray Wyatt strabigaling.
That's another question I'll get to in about 2 seconds. So the match got very physical towards the end. Started out like every match ever, and then it got very physical. It was a very physical match, so it wasn't bad. These guys really did beat the shit out of each other.
Oh, yeah.
And they proved it. Randy wins with an RKO. So we get to the end of the match. Now, Bray Wyatt, you assume he's neutral in the situation. He gives Luke Harper a Sister Abigail. Now, is this tough love, or is this him siding with one guy and evicting Luke Harper out of the Wyatt family?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's kind of the latter, because we've seen him do this before with Eric Rowan. When he kind of evicted him, and he kind of foreshadowed this a little bit in the towards the beginning of the match when they were both about to get counted out, and he almost let Luke he threw Randy in, and then he kind of looked at Luke like, I'm gonna wait till 9 and then I'm gonna throw him in, So he kind of teased it, but yeah, I think that's the big punchline to all this, is that he's gonna take Randy's side, and then Randy's gonna totally screw him. Yep. And that's the deep cover of this whole thing.
So what do you say, Anthony? Is he siding with, or is this just hard?
Tough love. I think it couldn't be tough love, because he already Luke Harper already got beat in the match. That's tough love enough. I think he
already hit him.
So this was basically Bray Wyatt's way of determining who he's going to continue on with.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought this was just a group of brothers that are just settling some differences. physically.
The result of the match would have been the end that it was just settling differently.
Now, we will see the end of this eventually at some point. Later on down the line, obviously near WrestleMania or before WrestleMania, because they seem to be speeding this up rather quickly. Yeah. But I will still believe this to the day this is over, okay? This is an awful lot to do just to piss off Bray Wyatt. I understand the Wyatt family's a unit, and I get it, but this is a whole lot just to fuck over Bray Wyatt. I think it's a lot. This is a whole lot to go undercover, to be a part of the family, to actively side with Bray Wyatt and do his creepy interviews and do his creepy promos just to eventually screw him over.
Yeah, man, you gotta take him down from the inside.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe this is just like...
You ever seen a show about undercover cops and shit?
Undercover anything? Yeah. Deep cover, man.
Watch season 3 of 24.
Word.
So Randy eventually reveals that he's been undercover all along. He beats Bray Wyatt. What happens after that?
Wait, what was that again?
I mean,
he eventually reveals to be undercover. He says, aha, I bamboozled you the whole time. Then they have a match. He wins the match, which is obviously, it's probably going to happen.
It's probably not going to show itself until something really important is happening for Bray. Like if Bray's in a title picture or something.
So you don't think this is going to be resolved within the next couple months?
Well, not necessarily, but they're definitely gonna wait for their moment.
Yeah.
Mania or no? After Mania.
I think it'll happen at Mania.
Yeah, though. I mean, it'll be.
I mean, I kind of have an idea of where this is going.
It'll be like kind of a stretch to make this last until then. But that's obviously the big blow off. Is
the only thing I get from this is that Randy understood that he could not beat Bray alone. So he had to, go within. But like I said, it's only one guy.
No, I think
it's Luke Harper. That's literally the obstacle here.
I think this is just Randy trying to prove that he's the king of mind games, and that's his whole thing now.
And he's a predator. The snake's been waiting a long time to strike.
He's just waiting. Waiting in the wings, and he's just going to do his thing.
So that was the Wyatt family this week. Now we get to this Mickie James promo. A lot of people in the internet world and the podcast world and on the Wrestling Observer, people thought this was cringy for some reason. I thought Mickie sounded great. I thought Mickie came off as believable. I thought Mickie had a solid point. People are saying this was a shit promo. I don't understand what was shit about this. I really just don't. It sounded believable. Mickie, like I said, Mickie sounded great. She didn't sound bad. She sounded like a pro. And she had a valid point.
I popped the Mickie James Matters line. I popped at that. But,
the new movement.
The fact that she tried to take credit for, the whole, being there before the women's revolution shit. She was the one, nah, bitch. It was Trish and Lita were there before you.
Well, Anthony, Trish was pregnant. So they couldn't get Trish. It would have been Trish if it wasn't for Trish having an.
But I also understand that she's the heel, so she's got to make it about her. So I get that too.
Is she the crazed fan again? Remember when she was the crazed fan for Trish Stratus?
I remember when she was the crazed lesbian for Trish Stratus.
Yes. Well,
that was legit.
This is WWE 2017.
Yeah,
she can't be a crazy lesbian.
It's not HLA
she can be
anymore.
crazed.
This is the Bischoff era.
She can't be a crazy lesbian though. That's just too far.
Hey, but Paige had a couple lesbianic tendencies, like last year and shit.
Oh yeah,
yeah. You remember that? But whatever.
Is she Alexa Bliss's crazed fan now? Sort of. Is she back to those roots again? What's going on with this situation here?
I don't really know. I mean, the one thing that I noted about this. Outside of Natalya, there's not really a whole lot of, and even Natalya, there's not a whole lot of older female superstars.
Yeah.
You have
She's the real vet now.
Yeah, she is definitely the first aging vet from a bygone era to be involved with the ladies now. They don't have a whole lot of that. Everyone's early 30s or younger.
Yeah.
So it's weird having her there, she seems like such a I don't want to say a fossil, but
wow.
Yeah, it's just
you still wouldn't spend the night with Mickie James?
Hey, I'm not saying I'd knock those hardcore boots. I'm not saying I wouldn't. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's you know, she's definitely like a MILF now, bro. Like, it's weird, you know, like.
I mean, they need star power, and here's the thing: I'm glad they put Mickey, because
I don't think star power when I think Mickie James. I think she's
once again can't get Trish.
Yeah,
this was Trish's plan.
They could have got Lita.
They could have got
Lita was too busy doing pre-shows and getting fired afterwards, or not getting fired, leaving afterwards. So
I feel like there's a couple, like they could have got Tara.
Lita was there for the entire first half of 2000, or for the entire 2016. So she did her job. They didn't need her to do fill any other shoes. Mickie James could still go.
Yeah.
And I believe the reason why Lita didn't get in the ring is because probably, you know, she's done with wrestling. Mickey's the only
people who have no idea who Mickie James is. They're like, "Who is that?" I'm like, "Oh, she had this feud with Trish like way back."
That's really strange. How people don't know who Mickie James is. She was a part of.
She was I mean, but they could have got someone a little more real. They could have got like Kelly to come back.
Are you fucking? I'm serious?
All I'm saying,
defend yourself, sir.
All I'm saying, and all I said for everyone who's listening to this in the future who can tell, because I just said it. All I'm saying is she's more recent. That's all. She's just a more recent face. That's it.
But I don't think that means anything because I think she's just she's more forgettable.
She was a pretty big deal in her own rights at the time.
She was extremely forgettable.
Mickie James had a feud with Trish, and then that was pretty much it.
Doesn't she also have like a bunch of title reigns too?
Back when the title didn't fucking matter, dude. Everybody had a lot of title reigns.
Hold on a second.
The women's title and the Divas title didn't mean shit at the time. Her 5 title reigns is kind of irrelevant.
There are 2 women aside from Lita and Trish Stratus that were a part of that whole women can wrestle situation that weren't featured, but they were definitely good at wrestling, and it was Trish, it was Lita, it was Mickie James, who was a great wrestler at the time, and she's still pretty decent at her job. Yeah. She's not the greatest, but she's not the worst. She's good. And another one, Melina. Melina was pretty good.
Oh, you and Melina. Oh, my God.
Melina was pretty good for her.
This isn't biased at all.
No, not biased at all. But the point being is that in a time where the divas were not featured, there was a handful of women that were good. Lita, obviously. Trish, obviously. And by the way, Trish is not the best wrestler on the planet, okay? We like to talk about Trish. She's okay. She was good for the time.
Yeah. Trish was fantastic. She was the face of the fucking, like, the women's division.
But I wouldn't put her up against Becky. Becky and Sasha have a lot more wrestling ability.
I'm not comparing them. I'm saying
ability doesn't matter. It's the WWE. Dude.
I'm saying within her realm, she was definitely the big fish in the small pond.
Oh, obviously. But the point being is that they got someone from that era, and this is her big tagline. Who's Mickie James? Oh, she wrestled Trish at WrestleMania. That's literally her hooking point. She wrestled Trish. She's not Trish. They needed Trish. They didn't get Trish. She got knocked up.
Whatever.
So that's the point. But that's Mickie James. We're not going to talk about this Ellsworth segment. It was complete horseshit.
Yeah.
It's cringy. It was supposed to be cringy. It was cringy. It succeeded in being cringy. So we're not going to sit here and say it was supposed to be good.
I just want to say one thing. How is it believable? I mean, it's hilarious, but how is it believable that a man would show up to a department store in fucking wrestling trunks and a shirt with his own face on it?
Right?
We had the Natty and Nikki segment. The only reason I want to talk about this, the whole Natty and Nikki are still brawling in the backstage, by the way. The only reason I want to get to that is to get to the Naomi situation. So Naomi comes out, says that, you know, she's in a match with Natty. Natty's too busy being fucked up by Nikki Bella in the back. Naomi says
those
she wants...
some good slaps, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, they were getting it good. Yeah. Anthony doesn't approve of this rivalry, but between everyone else and me, I think this is very interesting. So, but I want to talk about the Naomi situation. Naomi comes out. She hasn't been on TV in forever. Yeah. We totally forgot about Naomi.
I really did.
Yeah, we had no idea.
Nice to see her entrance again.
We had no idea. I think she's filming the Marine.
You guys feel the glow?
I did. I felt it.
Yeah, for sure.
We thought she was out there filming the Marine 6, so we have no idea where she went. But the whole the promo she cut, she sounded believable.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought I'd say that about Naomi.
Yeah.
But Naomi came off as, look, I've been off TV for fucking forever, dude. I've been in obscurity. I'm here to kick someone's fucking ass. I don't give a fuck who it is.
Yeah.
And I liked that. I liked that it felt real. It felt very unscripted. That's very strange for wrestling. Oh my god. So we have the champ come out. The champ does...
By the way, the pop, fantastic. Because, like, there's a little pause. You didn't know who's coming out. But that music came when everyone was like, oh shit, it's going down.
It's Alexa. Now, Alexa was great, by the way. She sounded, once again, she didn't come off as scripted. She said, where the fuck have you been? And, you know, she sounded very good. They both did very good on the mic, and I really, really liked this work. Now, this is the next feud for Alexa. Obviously, we could see that coming from a mile away. Here's the good part about SmackDown. They remember their stuff. If you remember, Naomi owns a victory over Alexa Bliss.
Which was, admittedly, like, the worst match that ever happened.
Obviously.
That was such shit. But then again, they only had, like, 3 hours to, like,
to come up with this match.
It's actually, like, lay the spots out and everything.
The match itself was pretty garbage, but the fact remains that SmackDown Creative remembers this.
Yeah.
They remembered something that happened fucking 4 months ago.
Naomi does have a case to be made. She does
owns
have
a victory over the current champion, and my god, I can't believe it.
She's the only one on the roster who can really say that, you know? Like, so...
It makes sense. Welcome to SmackDown.
And this is exactly what I was hoping for. I was really hoping that this whole luchador thing would end with Becky getting off of Alexa's dick for a minute and not having her 5th fucking rematch. And this will give Becky something to do. Her and Mickie James can have their little feud. This will free anybody else up to, like, you know, be #1 contender.
Yeah.
And it should definitely be Naomi because, again, she's the only one who can
owns the victory over the champion.
And I think that'd be really good just because, you know, Naomi's pretty athletic and, you know,
I find it, real quick, I find it funny that Natty has literally nothing else to do but stalk Nikki Bella.
Yeah. And talk about her cats on Instagram.
The exclusive WWE.com segment with Nikki Bella being interviewed on her way in with her luggage was greeted by Natty going, "What'd you just say? Why the fuck is she standing there? Does she have anything else to do?"
Didn't they completely, like, do this angle last week on NXT with, like, Asuka getting her ass beat in the same fashion outside?
I find that very weird, man.
Yeah.
I don't like the whole, this guy's been standing here for 20 minutes, literally watching the interview.
Like, since when are bitches hanging out in the parking lot, like, waiting for you to get off the bus? Like, are you serious?
Nikki, next time, if you conduct an interview, don't do it in front of Natty with a fucking tap-out hoodie, just kind of standing there. Just waiting with her new Reeboks.
I will give it to her. Nikki took those bumps in her little ensemble. You know, she had her little boots and a very nice coat on, and she took the bumps outside.
I only like this angle for the fact that Natty looks like a fucking stalker. 1, 2. Nikki gets hurt over the simplest things, and every time she gets thrown into a large truck, she hurts her leg. Yeah. She hurts her face.
The fucking wind blows on this chick, and like there's 1,000 trainers around her making sure
she hurt her fucking neck.
Yeah, right?
She probably got fucked wrong and dislocated a couple of discs.
My big match John.
Speaking of John Cena, we move on to the AJ John Cena segment.
Oh my god.
So now
You mean John Cena and the dude from Georgia?
The dude from Atlanta.
Or Atlanta, yeah.
Now, I have a gripe with that for one reason. Gainesville, Georgia is not Atlanta, Georgia. Gainesville, Georgia is, I have it right here. Gainesville, Georgia is 54 miles away from Atlanta, Georgia, which is not far. But it's like saying, Anthony, go back to Philly.
Yeah.
How far away do you live from fucking Philadelphia,
like 2 hours.
Yeah, we live about 2 hours away from Philly, so go
it'd be more like go back to Bethlehem or something.
Yeah. Very inaccurate, by the way. But one,
which is about 50 miles. 2,
once again, bringing me back to the whole idea that SmackDown actually has valid purposes for their promos, for their segments. So John Cena went on the Today Show. They said the guy from Atlanta, the whole thing. AJ had a legitimate gripe.
Yeah.
He has a legitimate gripe about the poster, about the whole guy from Atlanta situation, so...
I'd like to say, I love this fucking feud. I wish it could go on forever. Yeah. Both of these guys have done so well in the promos for this, so well in the mic against each other. And the reason being, it's like, what they're saying is fucking real.
Yeah.
Like, these guys are very aware of the internet, of what people are saying.
Mm-hmm.
They know what's going on. And Cena's like, what, you're going to get mad because I fucking buried you again? Like,
buried?
Yeah,
he said the word
that
buried.
Shit. He's over here like, oh, I'm not a good
That's not the first time anyone said
No, but it's rare.
He's like, oh, what, you're gonna cry if I bury you? And what, I'm not a good wrestler because I wasn't in the indie scene and shit? Like, I'm like, damn, like... Yeah. And I feel like every time Cena gets on the mic against Styles, like, he says some shit like that. Like, he gets very meta with it.
Yeah.
And, like, actually uses industry terms and shit. And, like, all of us...
I really like John Cena. I've really come around to John Cena.
Yeah,
John's great.
And, like, all of us smarks are, like, popping and going off because they're like, oh, shit, he said fucking bury,
like,
you know?
It was the cool thing to do in 2011 to, like, hate John Cena, but, like, when you actually, like, look at it, like, what's going on, like, he's a really, like... a really good part to this program.
Absolutely.
And the reason why I believe that, and we will still continue to do it because it's a positive thing about wrestling in WWE at the moment, is the fact that SmackDown does not hold back their talent.
No.
They let them talk. They let them talk about what they feel like. They're not overly scripted. John does not sound scripted whatsoever.
No, not at all.
Not a single. That guy doesn't. Bullet points. John.
Yeah.
Today's show, talk some shit. You got it.
Especially since like he had the U.S. title, everything he's done has pretty much been killing it.
Oh yeah,
he's been pretty solid without the machine production behind him.
And the best part about this is they're both right.
Yeah.
You know, like they both have valid points in what they're saying. You know, like you've got AJ Styles, who's clearly the best wrestler on the planet. You know, like the greatest fucking indie guy ever. And you got Cena, who's a longtime staple face of the fucking business. Like. This is the new guard versus the old guard, like, you know,
going at it.
Yeah, it's
the entire really, decade of the 2000s going at it right now.
Yeah, it's really fucking cool, and I'm really glad if they're doing it the way they're doing.
That is a positive thing about SmackDown. I believe they don't have scripts. They don't have
I'm sure they do
to an extent.
Bullet points. They have bullet points.
They have talking points.
They're not literally having their shit typed out for them. It feels a lot different, and John sounds a lot more genuine than he ever did in his entire career. Okay, and I appreciate that. A couple things I want to talk about this segment. The word "buried" was brought up, which is amazing. This match and this feud is in literally the Super Bowl matchup. And there was a poorly drawn hatchet man in the crowd. So, and the reason I bring up...
also a really sweet sign that said AJ Styles is a good wrestler.
Yes! The word wrestler appearing on WWE television.
Yeah.
The word wrestler.
He said, I'm a better wrestler than you.
Wrestler. You know, until he said that, I could have swore they were just so busy superstarring this whole time. Never thought they were wrestling.
I thought they were sports entertaining this whole time.
Right?
I am genuinely not. I was entertained a lot, but now I realize that I was being wrestled this entire time. But the poorly drawn hatchet man sums up Toledo, Ohio. Jesus Christ, this crowd was so fucking hicky and rednecky, and
a little bit of great TNA crowd.
They came off as very WWE-ish, like AJ, boo, John, yay, and there was AJ chants, but for the most part, they were just sucking down the product so much. Very campy. That was SmackDown. Obviously, a lot better than Raw for the 56 weeks in a row, I think. This is
the draft every SmackDown.
It's the new Nitro. We just flock over to SmackDown now. And we forgot to talk about the lumberjack match, guys.
Yeah.
The Miz lost. No surprise there. Ambrose wins back.
And Marie still got involved.
Yeah.
Regardless of lumberjacks.
The lumberjacks lumberjacked. The heels healed. The faces faced. There was really nothing else.
All the lumberjacks ended up getting taken out at once.
That's it. It's every lumberjack match you've ever seen in your entire life.
They're freeing up Miz to do something big.
Hopefully. But right now I think he's embroiled in this very boring... It's not. Okay.
It's not boring.
It's not boring. No. I think I'm just saying that because of the lumberjack match.
Yeah.
It was the quintessential lumberjack match, and it was the one before Royal Rumble, and everyone got in the ring and fought each other.
Nothing the Miz is doing right now is boring.
No, he's not boring at all. It's just the fact that the lumberjack match came about because he said he pays all the guys in the fucking locker room.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Realize what we've just been talking about. Like, think about ourselves like 4 years ago. Like, we've been praising John Cena, and we've been praising The Miz a lot lately. Look at ourselves 4 years ago. We would have hated each other.
They're done with our shit.
Yeah, like... I used to hate The Miz. Dude,
I used to hate,
with a passion. Like, he sucked
Everybody used to hate The Miz. It wasn't heel heat. It was get off my TV.
He's done such a good job of just being a fucking heel, man. Yeah. Like, straight up.
I don't even think, like, it's something that, like, he just did overnight to make him good. I think it's just, like, we're all starting to realize that, like, what he's been doing all along is kind of like...
Yeah.
The whole thing with Damien Sandow. Like, sure, the whole thing with Damien Sandow was great and made it fun.
Yeah.
But without The Miz being able to, like... be self-effacing and being able to, like, really, like, be that heel to let that babyface make fun of him the whole time.
Yeah.
The Miz was just as much responsible, if not more, for that whole thing.
True, he facilitated that whole Miz down.
I think the once again, I will bring it right back to the SmackDown booking. They finally got a chance to breathe. They finally got a chance to not be a part of the machine. They got to really be themselves. And when Mike was talking about Mike, I call him Mike. I like calling him Mike. Fuck Miz. I like calling him Mike. He's just so much better as Mike.
Well, I remember him back in the day from Real World, back to New York.
Wow,
that's my first experience with Mike.
I like calling him Mike because this guy had to deal with his fucking wife buying $399,000 property, whatever, some fucking approval. God. So me and Mike get along in a dude way. But I like Mike for the simple fact of the whole talking smack thing. Yeah. Someone probably said, "Hey,
that's
man,
what really like
that launched him because he finally got to vent about something he's probably been wanting to talk about for a long time, and SmackDown was new
because, like we were talking about, it feels real.
Mm-hmm. Like, what a concept! Everybody being themselves.
It's a lot easier to lose yourself in the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
So SmackDown goes off. The promo before the main event was a lot more talkable.
Yeah.
Or a lot more discussable than the actual lumberjack match. It was a lumberjack match. It came about out of logic, and it was all well done. It was just nothing of importance that really happened.
Yeah.
So NXT, we get a new NXT right before the pay-per-view, and credit to them, they don't really have a lot of time to book this takeover. It felt very rushed.
This takeover, this might be the first takeover that's like, no, I won't say bad.
That's like
but
average.
Doesn't have a lot will probably be a takeover that a lot of people won't remember.
Because let's face it, man, like the main event isn't that like Bobby Roode, like and Nakamura. Like I like Bobby Roode, I do, but it's not. This isn't like Sami Zayn or Finn Balor or Samoa Joe. Like there's no real. I feel like there's no build to this.
Yeah,
you know they're just throwing him in there because he's just the next. He's just the next guy in line.
They didn't have any time.
I think they backed themselves into a corner with this traveling to Japan and Australia thing, and they sacrificed
like a month of build for.
They sacrificed the program for a little bit, like the television show as a whole, to expand the marketing.
And I get it. You need to gain territory and stuff. Yeah,
and I mean, in the long run, it might be the better thing. But like for this particular moment in time, the show has suffered.
Yeah, because you only have but so much time constraints to work within. Yeah. So like,
I'm not going to shit on NXT because of it, but I've definitely found myself. There's been a lack of interest.
This is the least exciting main event so far.
The whole show, really.
I'm excited for the Fatal 4-Way.
I want to see it, but I'm not dying to see it. Like,
even though I love Billie Kay, I am low key rooting for Nikki Cross to take this fucking belt, man. That would be super sweet.
I don't think Nikki's gonna take it, and they're gonna keep it on Asuka. She's dominant.
We'll get some more of that.
We'll get to that.
In the
prediction show. Now,
next installment.
Basically, this entire show was just trying to establish the matches that are going to be taking place. A quick word of interest. Peyton Royce and Billie Kay are going around on YouTube asking for people's vote for their breakout star of the year. Go fuck yourselves. How about that? Breakout of what?
I'll give it to Billie Kay over Peyton because she literally just showed up like 3 months ago.
Wait, what? You would give it to one of these broads?
If I'm not, wait, they're trying to get it together as the breakout star?
They're trying to basically lobby for breakout star all over YouTube. There's a ton of YouTube videos.
They're like the NXT version of Jericho and Owens.
Oh, okay.
They were talking about them being the women's champion.
I know. Okay, well, that makes sense. Well, I mean, I'm just saying, I would take one over the other because Peyton Royce is so irrelevant.
Well, I saw that they were trying to consider themselves for breakout star of the year, and the word star is in there, and none of them are stars. So
is this for like the NXT only awards?
Yeah, this is like an end of the year awards
For just NXT?
Yeah. So Superstar of the Year, Shinsuke Nakamura.
Oh, obviously.
Women's Wrestler of the Year, Asuka. These are not hard to figure out, guys. Tag Team of the Year, the Revival, really.
Nakamura can even take out Breakout Star of the Year too, because he kind of.
Fun fact: they caught Drake Younger, Drake Wirtz, in the back a video on YouTube, and they said, "Hey, Drake, what's your breakout star of the year?" And assuming that they were gonna say he was gonna say them, he says, "No way, Jose, go fuck yourself, Drake."
Wow,
okay,
no way, Jose.
Yeah, he
Holy
says,
I love Drake.
I think it's No Way, Jose. He broke out of what? The Dominican Republic? Get the fuck out of here, man! Like,
tell him by his accent, he probably was never ever in the Dominican
this guy was born in fucking New York.
He had one feud that was blown off relatively quickly. Like, who cares?
Austin Aries?
Yeah.
Yeah. You mean Austin Aries wrestling nobody?
Nah, man. Now he's fighting Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Wow.
I love that fucking bit that Corey Graves said about he was too busy fucking stopping Dennis Hopper on fucking buses.
He said Conor Reeves is the guy on Twitter with the egg as his profile picture. Oh, Corey, please never change. That was so fun. Conor Reeves is so forgettable that it's just ridiculous.
I still don't know who the fuck he is. Like,
apparently he's from Hawaii. That's the most I've learned of this guy.
And perfect time to like really start pushing him with John Wick 2 coming out.
oh my god!
I can't wait for the next Matrix movie. It's gonna be great. So we get let's talk about this fucking show. We get Ember Moon and Liv Morgan, and the fact that Liv Morgan's even in a fucking match with Ember Moon. Now, I will defend the fact that
they've got to set up a division.
I guess. Okay, I did have a thing for Liv, but then
I'm glad they actually like have established at least 6 women that are breaking out from the random 18 chicks that we had in the beginning of the year.
Now, Ember Moon, I get there's lack of talent. There's really nothing to worry about. So they have to feed her somebody.
I like how they tried to play it like they were on an even playing field, like over all the pin covers in the beginning of the match.
Yeah, they're both, they're both like the big baby faces, kind of, so.
Here's where Liv Morgan loses all of her credibility, and I did defend her, and I remember I went through a week phase where I was like into her for some reason.
I'm pretty sure she was on this nigga's fucking phone.
It was for a week. I said a week,
okay.
Not a week. I said strong and weak. Talking about it literally lasted a week. I saw this broad wrestle in Jordans. Are you fucking serious, man?
BJ Twerkins does it all the time.
Are we? He's a wrestler. And he's not wearing he's not wearing the Jordan 3s. What?
So is she. I mean, she.
Yeah, but she's wearing like the cherry lows, man, out there. Like she's about to dunk on fucking LeBron, man. Like this isn't the Billy.
About sneakers,
this isn't the Billy.
All over my head.
It's kind of.
All right. So yeah, BJ fucking Twerkins wrestles with Jordan. That's cringy, by the way. Yeah, I will admit it. I don't like it very much.
Shane O'Mac every time.
Any fucking person that wrestles like they're about to fucking go on the hard top is just very cringy.
Most guys wrestle in sneakers. A lot of guys wrestle in sneakers, right?
Yeah, doesn't Cena wrestle in sneakers?
Yeah.
But her gimmick is, hey, I'm going to go to the corner store and wrestle a match.
I guess.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, for what she's real.
For what it's
worth,
are you
fucking serious? Get the fuck the hard streets of Jersey? Get the fuck out of here.
For what it's worth, this was probably her best match. This is probably the best Liv Morgan match.
Of course, she's been there with Ember Moon.
Yeah, that she's had. She was able to hit all of her spots.
She looked good for a little while, which is not bad. You got to get some of the talent over. She looked powerful with the
lasted longer than 28 seconds, right?
That's true, and I can't last longer than 28 seconds with her, that's for sure. But anyways,
wow.
She wrestles with Jordans. I don't really like it. How about we get some kick pads on those Jordans, cover up that shit, okay?
Yeah, but dude, she's already wearing, like, ripped up yoga pants. Like, I mean, what else do you want?
And her theme song fucking sucks.
Yo.
Change that fucking theme song. The match, it was promoted it was meant to make Liv look like she could hang. Really, she can't
legitimate. I mean, her last match was like a total squash, so you got to do something with her.
Yeah. Other news to worry about on this NXT event, which didn't have much to worry about. Percy Watson fucking sucks.
Get him off my TV.
Please.
Fucking JD. if you ever listen to this show, this message is for you. Get barbershop window on the horn and fucking have a get off my TV shirt made for Percy Watson.
Percy Watson is so fucking bad at his job. I would rather see a fucking... He
adds nothing to the show. Oh man, I could say from personal experience that hurt. Fuck you, Percy. He literally said that shit. Or that didn't feel good, or something along those lines.
You know what's cringy about this guy is the fact that he goes, "Oh my god, no way, Jose, he's my favorite wrestler." Get the fuck out of here, dude. Stop. This guy adds literally nothing. I would rather pay CM Punk. I would rather pay anybody to do commentary over this guy. I would rather see...
I'd rather not pay anybody, save money, and just go back to the two-man booth like it was. I'm tired of getting fucking secondhand embarrassment from listening to this guy's cringy-ass comments.
I feel like Percy was just fucking eating a sandwich one day in catering, and someone said, "Hey, you want a fucking job?" "Oh, fuck, sure, I guess." And you want to add nothing to the show? Absolutely. Corey Graves is phenomenal, by the way. Best commentator on television at the moment, aside from Mauro Ranallo. Yeah, Mauro's awesome. Mauro's awesome, but Corey adds substance to an otherwise substanceless fucking show.
Mauro's a great play-by-play guy. Corey Graves is a great color.
Yeah. If you put them together,
they're the perfect combination.
But can't have them both on two shows. We need two different. And at the same token, Byron Saxton fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, now they have Nigel McGuinness and now Steve Corino on the payroll. You have two great commentators in those guys. Why don't you use them?
Obviously.
Gotta, and I don't want to make this a racial thing, but for some reason, black guys on commentary are not that great. Booker T was god-awful.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is that they for some reason, they have to play this neutral gimmick. I don't know why. They've never been play-by-play. They're always the last... They're always the third guy to chime in.
Well, yeah, like I know on Raw they're going with like Graves as the heel and
Percy's good for No Way Jose.
It's supposed to be babyface, yeah.
And Byron's only good for the inflatable, wacky flailing, arm flailing tube men of the tubes. Like that's literally his entire gimmick. So Percy Watson sucked. Get him off the television. No Way Jose had a fucking squash match with
Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves. Elias Sampson, who still works for this company, came out. I don't fucking know how. And Jose did the one thing that I don't approve of his entire career so far. I told him to get the fuck out, and his song fucking sucks.
You want to get somebody over? Pin him against Sampson. That's really all you have to do. Everyone hates
Elias Sampson is fucking bad, and there's just no heel or face that likes him.
Yeah,
no one. He's not likable at all. The
gimmick sucks. It's like,
he has a lot of bandanas on his arm, and he plays a guitar. There's really nothing else to this guy. So that was a thing, and I can't wait for No Way Jose versus Elias Sampson. I might as well not be watching any match because I don't really care for any of these guys. So I'm gonna watch the ring. I'm gonna watch the ring because I don't see anybody else in there. EY gets a squash match against a rather large man, which is funny that Eric Young got a squash against a very tall looking guy who looks great. I forgot his first name, something Atkins, but.
Chris, maybe?
Chris Atkins? Yeah, I mean, that sounds...
Or is that a country singer?
I don't know.
Who knows? Who cares?
That's Trace Atkins, my bad.
But this guy was his baby face. I mean, this is as white as Anthony's walls, man. I mean, you just can't get any baby face. But whatever, I was trying to get more talent on the show. I get it. The ending of this NXT was capped off by the women, and it was supposed to be a forum. But Asuka said, fuck that. Came out, started some shit, started a fight. Eventually, Peyton and Candice Parker of the LA Sparks got booted off out of the ring because no one gives a fuck. Honestly, I have to.
Fucking Peyton and Joanna.
Joanna. Honestly, I have to ask: is anybody except for fucking Tyson even fucking... Does anyone care about these broads? They're so fucking forgettable.
They're okay, but like they're not. They're not the women to take them on.
No, they're supposed to be the NXT's beautiful people. They're not doing that.
They're not beautiful.
I'm just, you know what I'm saying.
Right? I would have sex with Angelina Love over Billie Kay.
Okay, that's great for you.
Yeah,
thanks.
But
I don't agree with you.
Wow. It doesn't matter because it's completely irrelevant.
Always loved it.
The fact of the matter is they're trying to fill that role. They're the tandem fucking mean girl like heel bitches that are trying to take over the division. Okay, that's all that is.
They should be taking over the NWA.
I was
NWA, fucking WNBA.
I was wondering how Nikki Cross's entrance was going to go because Sanity had already came out. So I'm thinking to myself, are they all going to come out again with her? Are they going to do the full thing?
The entire gimmick.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know how. I figured
overkill.
I figured since this whole women face off thing or whatever is supposed to happen after EY's match, I figured maybe they'd just leave her out there But no, they had her get back in full regalia and come back out, do the steam and the lights and all that, which was cool, And the whole time I'm thinking to myself, just please, for the love of God, just don't put a mic in front of this bitch. Don't do it. Just let. I was thinking two things. Don't give her the mic at all, and she better be fucking crazy. Because when she came out with them the first time, she wasn't as crazy as usual. She was just kind of smiling and just kind of standing there and hugging Damo and shit, nothing really happened.
Who? It's Killian Dane now.
Dane.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hugging Killian. Nothing really happened. But I'm glad that she was sufficiently rabid when she came to the ring and was all baring her teeth at the bitches and all that. It was crazy. That was cool. I really hope that they do more with her because I'm becoming more and more of a fan every time.
Yeah.
If they, what? It's funny you said that you hope they don't put her on the mic. I think not putting her on their mic helps her more.
Yeah,
because she's a psychopath. So obviously, being having to calm down for an interview is not her thing.
Yeah,
she doesn't give a fuck.
Let her actions speak.
Yeah.
I thought they were gonna give her a fucking chicken to bite the head off of as soon as she was walking down to the ring or something like that. Something really ridiculous. Yeah. Funny enough about this segment before we close out this part one of this very extended show. We didn't want this to go as long, but it went as long as it did. But the whole security guard situation. So you're telling me about 6 or 7 security guards couldn't handle 2 very short women?
Apparently not.
Nikki Cross is crazy. And Asuka's a fucking
These
beast.
women are 5'6", and you're telling me that these
Nikki Cross is way shorter than that. But
they're tiny. They're very small women.
Apparently, these grown men who get paid to do this.
Are you fucking serious?
Couldn't handle either of them. So
But they're trained professional wrestlers. These guys are just fucking
dudes in black shirts
who work out, right?
They're just dudes from Foot Locker, whatever.
They don't know how to sports entertain.
So if you ever want to get into the security guard business, if you don't have prior wrestling knowledge, you are your HP is dropped significantly.
Yeah.
If you've worked at Starbucks, your HP is lower than a woman who's trained for years at wrestling. I thought it was funny how Asuka came off the top rope and all the guys go, "Please, no," and they all tumble like fucking
Nikki Cross.
Or Nikki Cross. I'm sorry. One of them gets up on the top rope and folds these large men.
Yep.
With her large stature. So that was the funny thing about this. Funny enough, that was the ending for this. We didn't get any Nakamura and Rude segment. We didn't get any
they already did it before, yeah. So what are they gonna do? Have them come out?
Yeah. I get it. And like we talked about before, this was a very limited takeover with the build up. So that was the end of NXT this week. Very, it was a lot of building up and a lot of hype up for TakeOver, but that is our review of the week, and we will join you back for part 2 of this Royal Rumble hype week, which we have to talk about who's going to win and where's Kenny Omega going to be. So come back for us in part 2.